indeed. Texting. Hey, you're there. How are you? Surprise.
Who is that?
It's you, and it's
Hold on
them.
a
It's
second.
America. On a Thursday.
We see you.
A THC Thursday, if you will.
That's right.
Here in the mid-sac. The rain kind of cooled things off. It actually worked today.
Did it?
Yeah, it was really hot before. It cooled off. I was actually here talking in the garage with my mom when it was happening. And I noticed the breeze coming in. Actually, it did cool things off. But then afterwards, you saw some of the steam coming off the asphalt.
I'll take your word for it.
It did.
See that, folks?
Oh, yeah.
That's an olive with a pimento.
What's your poison tonight, America?
We're keeping it classy here.
Yeah, we're staying classy here in the mid-sac.
Dirty martinis.
And speaking of dirty.
I don't know. I think I'd call this extra dirty.
That's extra dirty. I didn't measure, for the record.
I like it just...
For the record, I didn't measure.
I like my martinis just dirty, sloppy.
I have measuring sticks or measuring shot glasses. I just didn't bother to find them. I looked for like 5 seconds and fuck it.
Hold on, I got a sports nugget.
Oh.
Best dirty martini I've ever had.
Oh.
Extra dirty martini.
Yeah.
2004, Houston, Texas, Major League All-Star game.
Ooh.
After the home run derby, we got to go to some sort of player party.
Okay.
Shook Will Clark's hand.
Ooh.
And Tom Glavine's hand.
That's when you met Tom Glavine.
I shook his hand and I said, man, I hope they get you some more run support.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't score for him.
Yeah.
He smiled at me, walked away. That place was making the best extra dirty martinis
Talk about reading the room.
I've ever had.
Because other than him, the deep pockets must have been running.
Yeah, you know mine. I was fucking...
I'm just saying.
22?
I know what a dirty martini runs. And in a room like that, I can give you a pretty good number.
Well, it was an open bar at that place. But I'm sure they were getting nice tips.
It's never an open bar, my friend, because somebody's always paying for the open bar.
Oh, Major League Baseball was.
That's right. So trust me when I tell you. That was a big bill.
It was like a gala.
Yep. Anyway.
Coming up the stairs, I saw Will Clark. I loved Will Clark as a kid.
Yeah.
I was like, Will Clark. He was like, how you doing, sir? I was like,
well, I called you sir.
I'm a
pretty
kid.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I saw
anyway,
Tom Glavine. I think we saw a couple other people.
Dirtiest martini ever. They have it at the what year? 2001 All-Star game?
2004. It was the year. Oh, this is a great story. You'll love it. As the American League won the All-Star game, that was back when the All-Star game decided home field advantage.
Which I thought was cool.
I did too.
It added something.
So
it made it worthwhile.
And I'm pretty sure Poppy hit a home run in that game.
I believe he did.
And the American League won, right? And there were two Yankee fans sitting either behind us or in front of us. And they stood up and they said, Game 1 of World Series, Yankee Stadium.
Oops.
But it wasn't. That was the year the Sox beat them.
That was the comeback.
And I always remember that I wished I knew those guys. I wished I lived near those guys because I'd have been like, remember what you said at the All-Star game?
Hey, Game 1's tomorrow night, but it looks like the lights are off over there.
Yeah, it's weird.
Did they get the memo?
It's up the street at Fenway.
Yeah, the road there, up 95. Up 95.
Up 95, yeah. You could take Route 1 if you want.
You could do that too, but 95 is a little bit clearer.
You're right.
Yeah, because there won't be any Yankee fans on it.
No Yankees. No, you know the other thing that's funny? It also had the biggest collapse in the history of North American sports.
Because to collapse like that, you have to collapse 4 times, America, not once.
That's true.
In any event, welcome to IDD. For those of you who know, I don't disagree. That was quite an opening.
I'd say I lampooned it if I didn't know better.
Carey Strug the landing. The Redoubtable One himself, Thomas, the highly questioned one, RJ Miliaccio. Segment 1, all things what? Where are we going? I guess we'll start with baseball. We'll start with the shit sucks because they found a way to blow it today. This was the whole...
Yeah.
And this is the thing about not making a move at the trade deadline. But the reality is they scored enough runs to win. But when Chris Sale came off the mound because he was on a pitch count, the bullpen, which has been pretty good overall doing this, totally imploded and gave up 8 runs in an inning and a half to the Nationals, who I must say are much better this year than they were last year.
Nationals can hit.
When we saw them last year, they were the Oakland A's. Yeah. They really were. This team is much more competitive. They are better. They're not a champion yet. But they're better. They're not a doormat either. And the Red Sox found that out the hard way. So they didn't get swept, but they should have taken 2 out of 3 from these guys, but they didn't because their bats did wake up.
Oh, they didn't take 2 out of 3. That's what I was just going back to look.
1 out of 3.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. They should have taken 2 out of 3.
They needed that.
They needed that, and their offense
They
actually
didn't need a sweep.
No,
They
2 out of
needed
3
2
would have
out of
been
3.
good on the road, and then they had a chance to do it. But the middle relief was atrocious today. To simply say, I forget, it was Winkowski was one of them, and I forget who the other one was. But they both gave up 3 earned runs in their time. And Sale was on a pitch count, so he threw 65, threw 4 1/3. He walked out with 2 earned runs. He struck out 3, walked 2. I mean, they were in the game. And then all of a sudden, fucking floodgates open. He left with 1 guy on base.
Do you know what your starters have been doing in terms of length?
On average,
Yeah.
4+ innings, not 5.
See,
Sale's the only one that was going past 5.
See what happens when you have a bullpen that does well in a situation like that. Eventually, they start to show it. They start to show the use.
Water seeks its level.
Yeah.
So that happened today. They were down 9-1. Now
I don't think water seeks its level. I think they're used all the time.
I'm saying
if your starters can only go.
But the
5,
point is, you're not supposed to traditionally use a bullpen that much.
The bullpen's got to do more than 3 innings every night.
Yeah, it's going to get taxed.
It's a bad recipe.
You can do that in a small window of time.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you can't do that prolonged for over a season.
You can do that in October.
Yeah.
If you have to.
If you have to.
You know.
But, I mean, you can't do that for 6 months.
No.
And look, I'm not blaming.
Mets did it for a month and a half.
I'm not blaming Alex Cora on this. He's doing the best he can with the hand he's been dealt.
Starters.
He doesn't have starters.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Sale's the only one that resembles a starter when he's healthy. So, again, and
Well,
today wasn't a bad start for him.
But that's right.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. They were in the game.
At one point, they were saying like 40% of the starts over a 3-week period were bullpen
It was
games.
longer than 3 weeks, by the way. It's been much longer than that.
I mean,
they've been doing that most of the season.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right
eventually, arms say, hey, I can't throw every day.
There's a reason why a guy only pitches 2 innings,
right.
3 times a week.
Yeah.
Because he can't go any longer. He's not a starter. He's not even really a closer. But he can give you 6 innings a week if you spread him out and help you set up the closer or the setup guy, whatever. But you keep doing that, to his point, and eventually. The Nationals have a pretty good. Actually, if you look at I was actually looking at their stats. Offensively, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're not bad. So their problem is pitching, like the Red Sox. So they lose 10-7 today. As of the middle of the third quarter, they had scored as many points as the football teams that were playing tonight. Because it was 10-8 in the third quarter. So with Philly and
that does look like a fucking baseball score.
Like a baseball
10-8.
Yeah. So we're going to talk football in segment 2. But anyway, back to the Red Sox.
10-8. What the fuck?
So the Red Sox
2-point conversion.
Safety. The Red Sox
2 field goals and a safety, or
2 field goals and safety.
Ew.
Yeah, weird.
Yuck.
This is exhibition football.
Who scored that?
I don't know. I'm not talking about.
No, I mean which team had 8?
Cleveland. They were ahead. They were winning 8-3. And then Cleveland.
Preseason football is awful.
It's whacked. It's whacked. So anyway, the Red Sox now have to face the Yankees, and then it gets brutal.
Oh.
It gets brutal in the form of the Astros. It gets brutal in the form of the Braves. It gets brutal in the form of... They are going to be facing contenders.
This is their season.
Well, look, they're going to have to beat these teams eventually, and the thing is, this is not... I want to say this right now. If this thing goes the way I think it's going to go, don't blame Alex Cora for this.
No, dude, you're playing fucking gauntlet.
The fact that they're actually here right now is a credit to him, because they should have been gone a long time ago. So... unless they play 500 ball against, and I looked at that schedule, it's murder. Oof. It's murder for the next 6 weeks. It's after the Yankees, and the Yankees are actually going the wrong way.
They better sweep. The Yankees are terrible right now.
The Yankees are almost on life support at this point.
They're on it.
Yeah. So
Yankees are at least 5 back.
If you don't put the Yankees down in 3, good luck, because after that,
Houston Dodgers, Houston.
Yeah.
Houston Dodgers, Houston.
Keep going.
Lens, Kansas City.
Yeah, that's the one.
Then Tampa.
Who?
They're in the shit house.
Yeah, that's a bit. But this is a month from now. They probably won't be then.
Well, I just mean because of Wander Franco and
McClanahan. They've taken 2 punches to the ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not just 2. These are Rocky Balboa in his prime punches to the ribs. They've taken 2 of those.
All right, they can survive that. Because it's Yankees, Houston, Dodgers, Houston. Then hopefully Kansas City is not an issue. Tampa, but it's not Tampa from the beginning of the year. Still good team.
Still good team.
But not them. then Baltimore.
Yeah.
But then you follow with 4 against the Yankees.
Who hopefully will be done.
Exactly. And maybe you take 3 out of 4.
But you look at that stretch. That's
well, Houston.
Take Casey out of it. That's
going
brutal.
to Houston, coming back home to play the Dodgers and Houston again is tough.
That's tough, man.
I don't know how you
play
play the
If they
Astros.
somehow go 5-5 in that stretch, I'll be giddy. I don't think they're going to go 5-5. I think they're going to be more like 3-7, 2-8. But if they go 5-5 in that stretch, I'll be fucking giddy.
If they sweep the Yankees, you can have hope.
If they sweep the Yankees.
But if they do, let's say they sweep the Yankees.
But I would argue right now the Nationals are playing better than the Yankees. Even though the Yankees have a better record. But
everybody's playing better than the Yankees.
Pretty
right
much.
now. At least it feels like
except for Oakland. But that's Oakland.
Mets won tonight.
Yeah.
Fuck. Why?
But Tom said this out there, and he's right. It's tough to tank against shitty teams because they're shitty for a reason. Even if you try to tank, they can still fuck it up.
Especially against the Pirates, who have been tanking for 10 years.
You know a shitty team when they can't beat the team that's trying to tank. That's openly trying to tank. That's when you know you are a shit team.
Mets have 4 hitters in their lineup. The rest is just cream puffs.
And I'm saying they're trying to tank.
And they beat the Cardinals.
And the Cardinals still lost. That's when
you know. The
know.
Cardinals are terrible, and the Mets are only 2 games better.
See, if that's where you are, that's just depressing as hell.
Dude, I looked at the Cardinals and I said,
hell.
the Cardinals are 54-68. What a shitty team. Then I looked up. The Mets are 56-68. They're 2 games better than them.
What a shitty team. What a shitty team. What a shitty team.
But it's like the Mets are trying to be this bad right
now. No, they're trying to, and I get that.
Although even before they were trying, they were 7 under.
Look,
this is who they are right now.
The 2023 New York Mets can't get it right no matter what whatever they're supposed to do. Rest assured, they're going to fuck it up. They can't even do tank. You can't even do tanking right.
Oops, sorry.
A fucking orange phone.
What do you know? Tim LeCastro hit a home run. The Mets are playing nobodies.
I mean, listen.
Tim LeCastro.
The 2023 Mets are the definition of fucked up. They're just fucked up. They just are.
They're fucked.
They're fucked. They're fucked and they're fucked up. And they can't do anything right. They can't even lose when they're supposed to lose. Even when they're trying to tank, they find a way to fuck that up. And by the way, America, it's hard to fuck up tanking.
How about this though?
You have to be a special kind of stupid to fuck up tanking. You kind of do.
Did you see what the Braves did to New York baseball over the past 6 days? They
wiped their ass with it. They took
scallywagged the Mets.
They
21 6-0, 21-3, 7-0. All right, then the Mets won 7-6.
Dude, they blew their load. Stupid. They blew their load in Lady Liberty's face, and they bent her over. That's what they did.
Then
that is what they did.
They see the Yankees. And then they blanked the Yankees 3 straight games.
I'm saying,
which is no.
They blew a load in Lady Liberty's face, and then they bent her over.
Dude, I was telling you last week. I didn't think the AL East was as good as everybody was saying because the Yankees stink.
I can news for you. The Orioles,
they're good.
And Tampa Bay just lost 2 freaking studs. 2 freaking studs. You know they're studs. 2 freaking studs. I don't know of a team that can lose 2 players of that caliber.
Well, you lose your ace and your best position
player. Your
player.
Best position player? I said they got 2 punches to the ribs, and it was Balboa in his prime throwing it. It was Balboa versus Mr. T in the second one.
Balboa throwing fake punches.
It was Balboa against Creed in the second fight. When he was lifting him off the canvas with those blows. That was what just happened to Tampa.
The fakest boxing you've ever seen.
Terrible. I'm a former. Listen, you're preaching to the choir. You're talking to the guy that hates all the Rocky movies. like any man that took 1/3 of those punches would be brain dead right now. Brain dead. They'd be fucking vegetables. But not Rocky.
He kind of was. I mean,
it was the end. It was Rocky 5.
His brain was off the rails.
If he had a brain, there was nothing left.
If I only had a brain.
I mean,
but Sly Stallone, the comeback he has made with fucking Tulsa King. Did you watch that?
No, but I heard great things about it.
Dude, he's outstanding in that movie.
I heard great things about it.
And I think he's also the one that brought in Michael B. Jordan for the Creed series, right?
By all accounts, the Creed series, which I haven't watched 1 second of any of
It's
has been done very well.
It's better than the end of the Rocky series.
Well,
Way
most
better than
things
those.
are better than that.
I mean, even though
Freddie Got Fingered was better than that.
I never saw it.
Exactly.
Even though the Tommy Gunn one sucked, but I loved it because the guy's name was Tommy Gunn.
That's fucking terrible. That's 2 hours of my life.
Crazy part is that guy was a boxer, and I think he got like HIV or something. Do you remember that?
Morrison.
Yeah.
Tommy Morrison. His name is Tommy Morrison.
Yeah. Tommy Gunn.
Tommy Gunn.
Didn't he get HIV? And then he like couldn't fight for a little while, but then he could.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That movie sucks so bad.
Didn't they fight in the street?
Yeah. Fucking so stupid.
Come on, Tommy Gunn, baby.
So fucking stupid, that movie.
How'd we get here?
It was, I don't know. We were talking about how the Tampa Bay Devil Rays took 2 Balboa shots to the ribs. And just like Apollo Creed, they broke. So, look, I don't know Tampa Bay's fate here. But if they somehow survive this and are in the playoffs, because I could see them sinking from that. You can't lose.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't lose 2 players like that.
And even if you don't sink, how do you even maintain what you've been doing?
You take any contender and take their 2 best players off it, and tell me what happens to them in this league. Any one of them. Pick any one of them.
And then beyond that, I think the shock of the Orioles catching them has hurt them.
The Orioles have been ascending for about 3 months.
It's kind of like what the Braves did to the Mets last year.
Yeah, the Orioles,
You never thought anyone was catching Tampa. 13-0 or 12-0?
Not the way they started. No, I didn't know. But, again, this is why it's a marathon. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And every year, we've talked about this, every year after the trade deadline, the injury bug hits somebody. It happens every year. You can set your watch by it, and it's not a little thing. It's drastic. I think this would fall under the D category. What's happened to Tampa Bay over the past week?
You mean drastic?
Drastic.
Is that what you're saying, D?
Yeah, the D word, drastic. This is, and I said that we've talked about
6-4 in their last 10.
So
Baltimore's 5-5.
5-5.
They've actually gained a game on Baltimore. They're 2 back.
But now this has happened.
Right.
And again, this
is new.
This is new, and they could literally sink from this, which would be great for the Red Sox. But I can't see a team in any sport, for that matter, losing their 2 best players and recovering. I don't care what team sport it is.
I know.
I can't see any team losing their 2 best players and going on and winning a championship. So, who knows? That should help the Red Sox. We'll see. But the Red Sox have a murderer's row coming after the Yankees. The Yankees are reeling. They must take advantage of this. They got to sweep them.
Here's the tough part for the Red Sox is Tampa's playing L.A., the Angels, who, what a waste. I don't know how they're bad.
They're such a waste.
It's like, my God.
They're New
you
York
got 2 of the best players
in all of baseball.
And you're
nothing. You don't matter.
No.
You don't. You're irrelevant.
And haven't mattered.
Yeah, you're irrelevant.
When's the last time they fucking mattered?
But this is the thing. Like, if you're going to spend that kind of money,
you got to spend additional.
You got to spend additional money. You can't just spend it on 2 players and go, okay, we're set. No, you're not.
No.
Not in a 9-position sport.
Look at the Mets.
Yeah.
They put all that money into Scherzer and Verlander. I mean, and some other people.
Yeah.
But you can't just be like, oh, yeah, we'll do this at third base or we'll do that at right field. No.
No, you can't do it. So,
but while y'all are going through your murderer's row, they got the Angels, the Rockies, and then the Yankees. That's a nice stretch for them.
Yeah, that's a nice break.
Dealing with what they're dealing with?
That's a nice break.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Boston season beginning of September, which is good though.
We're gonna find out everything we need to know about the 2023 Boston Red Sox in the next 4 weeks.
Boston has 5 games against them this last month of the season.
Yeah, so they're in their way, and they got to go through them. So, and this is setting up to play in their favor. Chris Sale is back, and he's pitching pretty well. They've got a closer, but they've got to put a string of games together here where they go on a run. And this stretch right now is not the stretch to do it. Now, if they do it, then they're probably going to get in. But right now, I'm hoping for 500. If they get through that stretch 500, I'll be ecstatic.
Dude, but check this out. Houston, they're... How far back are they from Houston? I can't tell.
They were...
Houston's 70 and 52. So they're 18 games over. Red Sox are 5 games over.
Yeah, so they're if they're 70, we're 63 and 58 or
63
something.
and 58. So
we're 6.5 games back.
6.5 games back, and you play 6 games against them in the next week.
Look, it's in front of them. This is what I'm saying. Everybody they have to beat outside of Seattle is in front of them. So it's up to them. Look at the ball's in their court. By all accounts, they're getting healthy at the right time. They've got arguably the best damn manager in the damn league.
According to us.
Well, I know what he's dealing with. I know the hand he's been dealt. Okay? I've seen managers with a lot more do a lot less. Some guy named Showalter comes to mind. But, I don't know. Maybe you've heard of him. Anyway.
Bucky O'Hare?
It was fuck Blowalter.
I thought you called him Toe Walter.
No, blow sounds better because he blew it.
Any other baseball stuff in your head?
No, I think we should take a break at this point because there's a lot more football stuff in my head. And that's going to be venomous. You tuned in on the right night, America. Because trust me, this is going to be fun. And by the way, all of it is going to be fact-based, which is the best part about it because you're going to look it up in disbelief and go, fuck, they're right.
Good news is the chips keep falling towards the side of Pats and Jets.
Yeah, we're going to discuss that as well. But anyway, you guys, hey, it is Thirsty Thursday, THC Thursday for you in the know. We're going to run, we have a rendezvous real quick with Betty, Yoda, and Jobu. Okay, I call them the Holy Trinity. And then we're going to see you on the other side for NFL talk, and you're going to want to be here for this one. Trust me. See you on the other side.